Hi everyone, Katarina from Bloom and Passion here. Thank you so much for watching my video today. For today's video, I recorded a card that I recently posted in my shorts, and a lady called, and I hope I am pronouncing her name right, Sanaya, requested that I show how I made this one. So this is what I recorded today. This card was made for an engagement and it was personalized, as you can see on the names in the heart. Today I am going to just use a generic sentiment to put in the heart instead. So the card was an easel card, and for the base I used a 10 by 7 inches card scored at 2.5 and 5 inches on the longer side, on the 10-inch side of the card, folded up like that. It will give me the base of the easel card. Now for the bottom base of the card, I used mirror gold cardstock that will measure 6 and 7/8 by 4 and 7/8. And as you can see, I cut out the middle of it, not to waste the cardstock. I will be using that for another projects. Now, this piece of cardstock, I dry embossed it with this embossing folder, which I've had in my stash for a very, very long time. And I've cut the cardstock to 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, and I'm just showing you on the side there what I did to put that glitter onto the edge of it. I just smeared out a bit of an acrylic glue and used the Cosmic Shimmer glitter jewels to add that beautiful edge to it. I done that ahead of time because that needs a bit of a drying time if I don't want to get glitter all over myself and all over the place in here. Now I'm just going to tip all that glitter back into the little jar. Close it up, or accident may happen with it. I've already applied double-sided tape to the back of this piece of cardstock. Now you're gonna see me struggle here a bit with it. I didn't pick up the right pokey tool to remove the backing of that tape, so yeah. But hey, we are crafters and these things happen. It doesn't always go smoothly, does it? Okay, so I'm just trying to peel it back. And this method of applying layers upon layers, I learned actually from Natasha Foot here on YouTube. She uses this technique a lot. Now you can see that I removed the middle bit as well. I shouldn't have done that because now it's all gonna get stuck to my glass mat. But hey, live and learn. Learn from your own mistakes. Then I will be able to peel it back, so no issues there. Okay, so now I'm just going to add a little bit of a liquid glue as well into the back of that cardstock. Now this one is the Collall all-purpose glue. I absolutely love using this on my cards. It makes it nice and sturdy, and real good quality glue it is. Now I'm going to work on the front panel of the card. The panel that we'll be decorating at the end. To do that, I cut out with a die set this 5 by 7 inch of a panel. I love the stitch details and the corners on this. To do that, I use my favorite framelit die set from Surprise Creations. You've seen me use this before, and I will be using it more times again because I just love this one. I love the double stitch details on this, meaning that you will have a stitch detail on the cardstock that you cut away and the cardstock that you'll use too. Now, to cut out the panel, I use the largest framelit in here, and to create that little frame that is going to go on top, I use the largest one again, and not the next one down, but the third one down. So this allowed me to create this lovely thick frame, and in here I'm showing you what that double stitch detail on the framelets allows me to do. So once I cut out the frame, the stitching is on both sides of the frame. I absolutely love this effect. This is the cardstock that I used, and this is from Lidl cardstock, and it is that pale pink color that I used for the base of the card. I think it's lovely for an engagement card. It's just such a lovely soft color. Now for the background, what I used is my own SVG file. And if you're interested, I will link to a video below here where you can find more out about this one. But you can use any dyes that you have, any background dyes. Or you can use any different techniques to create detail to that background. I think sparkly white heat embossing over white cardstock would look lovely and elegant as well. So now you can see me apply a bit of a bead of glue on the inner part of that frame. And I'm adding my own background in there. Now this background is quite dimensional. It doesn't have to be, but that has 3 layers of cardstock to add a bit of a dimension. So So now I'm applying collal glue just to the bottom flap, to the 2.5 by 7 inch bit on that top bit of the card, and I'm gluing this front panel onto it. Now you can see that the corners there now covered up, but I will be cutting these away with my scissors in a minute just. So I'm just giving it good time to dry. And in the meantime, I just want to say, I hope the fire crackling here in the background is not too distracting or annoying for you all. I have the fire going here just to keep the room nice and warm. Now you can see me just cut away those corners, and that gives that lovely detail back into the card. Okay, so now I'm going to glue the background onto that front panel by adding glue all over the white piece of cardstock. If I wanted to glue that little overhanging frame as well, then I would need to use a foam tape or something dimensional, because as I said, there's 3 pieces of that white cardstock glued together, so it's quite dimensional in there. But I like the look that this creates. I thought it was just easier to show you than trying to explain what I mean. So you see the 2 pieces of cardstock that are not glued together. There's a little bit of a gap in between them, but I really love that look. It was quite hard to take this photo because the camera kept focusing on the other bits of the card, but here we go, I managed to take it. So yeah, this is what it will look like when it's ready. And now this is all glued together. It needs a little bit of a time to dry, me trying to straighten it out a bit. And I'm actually going to grab a good heavyweight book, and I'm going to put it on top and set it aside to dry for a while. So while it is drying, I'm going to work on my stopper with a piece of cardstock of that same pale pink that measures 5.5 by 1 inches, and I'm adding foam tape, double-sided sticky foam tape onto the back of it. This front bit, I printed out the word congratulations, and it measures 3/4 of an inches by 5.25, and I had double-sided tape on the back, and you can see glitter all around this one. I applied just the exact same technique I used to glitter up the edges of that panel I just showed you. You could see me cut away a piece of the one end of the cardstock because I didn't eyeball that very well. So there was a little bit more cardstock hanging out on one end than on the other. So I just straightened that up with my scissors. So for all the embellishments that I am showing you now, the flowers, the foliage, I have already recorded a video and I will be uploading it either before this video goes up or just after. I'm kind of making these videos back to back, so I'm not sure which one will be ready first to be uploaded. Kind of have to work around the space on my phone as well, so the shorter videos have to be downloaded, uploaded, and so on and so on. It's all of a bit of a hassle trying to learn with it. This is the bling box that I use to decorate those foliage you can see with the green blingy rhinestones on them, and this is all explained in that other video that I will be showing you, where I'm showing you how I make these embellishments and some more, and also created a lovely little projects with them as well. So now I'm just putting that little heart shape in there. This is the size of the shaker embellishment that is going to go on that side. So I'm just kind of spacing it out there so I can see where I can put all the decorations, which I'm using my hot glue gun. And I think I'm just going to speed through here a bit. Next, I'm going to work on this shaker element, a heart-shaped shaker element with the word congrats instead of the names as it was on the original card. Now, the hearts I cut out on my electronic die cutting machine because I didn't have any framelets that would create such a thin frame for me. But if you have dies, nesting dies that can do that, go ahead and use them. I would, only I don't have anything as thin. There's much bigger gap between the sizes. I die cut the framelets in, I think, 5 or 6 times in white cardstock, and I stack them up together, and I'm going to glue that onto the back of the shaker element. Now, instead of these, you can obviously use foam tape if you have. I didn't have anything again as thin, so I could hide it behind that gold frame. That's why I cut just the same size white cardstocks and I stuck them up together. Now, I'm going to use for the shaker elements these little bits of scatter crystals that I got in BM Bargains or Home Bargains, one or the other, long time ago. I think it was actually Home Bargains in the wedding craft sections. I really think that that was it. I can't really remember. These little ones are from eBay and they are the same crystals, only a lot smaller size. This will give me lovely effect because those larger ones that I added before will get kind of trapped between the acetate window and the back panel, while the smaller ones will move freely, and I just absolutely love that effect. So now I'm just removing the backing tape, backing of the red tape in there, and I'm just going to add an acetate window which I hand cut. Just used one of those hearts as my stencil, put it on top of the acetate, and I just hand cut it. So now I'm just adding that window in there, and there's a bit of an overhang, so I just cut it away with my scissors like so. Now I'm going to remove the tape, backing of the tape from the gold frame as well, and I'm just going to line it up and add it on top. This will frame that shaker element just really nicely. Just trying to make sure it goes on straight. Perfect. Now I'm going to add the little, now I'm just showing you there how the larger ones get stuck and the smaller ones just move freely all over that heart. I really love that effect. Okay, so now I'm going to add that congrats sentiment to it, and to do this I just use my Cosmic Shimmer acrylic glue. I'm not sure where I am here on the frame. I just disappeared. And there I am. Okay, so I just applied acrylic glue to the back of the congrats bit, and I've cut out these little butterflies. Again, I cut them out with my electronic die cutting machine on several different sizes, and I cut them out gold mirror cardstock and white cardstock. To the white cardstock, again, I applied the same glitter as I did on the edges of my cardstocks earlier on. Just added glue all over them, and oh, that's where I'm adding the glue. I have no idea where I was earlier then. Okay, so I'm just adding a thin bit of glue all over the word congrats, and I'm going to tap the excess of that off because I don't want that to ooze out onto my acetate. Now I'm going to press it onto that little window, just like so. And now I'm going to add the butterfly. I cut the butterflies out in 2 different sizes, but then I realized that I only used the larger sizes for the white bit, so I'm just going to use that. There's not much different on the white, on the sizes of them anyway. First I'm applying the gold ones just flat against the acetate window. Here I swapped out for the bigger one as well when I realized that there's no smaller one with the glitter on it. And I'm adding this onto the top bit, a bit offset onto the edge of the heart. Now I'm going to add just a bit of a hot glue just to the middle of that, and I'm lifting the wings of this one off a bit. It adds a lovely dimension that you will see once the card is ready. I will try to take a few close-up pictures for you, just like that, arranging the wings, and that's it. A lovely shaker piece is ready. All that's left to do with this front panel to add the shaker card. Now I'm just looking for a right placement, and I'm adding acrylic glue, Cosmic Shimmer acrylic glue to this, and I'm not adding this sparingly. I'm making sure that I add plenty because I do not want this to start falling off. There's a teeny tiny bit of a weight to this, but also because my background is dimensional, so this is not going to be flush with the whole background, but more or less it sticks to the raised up white areas, background areas in there. So I'm just making sure that this will stay put once I glue it on. I don't want it to come away at all. So I'm just holding it in there for a minute or two just to make sure that this holds on very well for me. And now I'm going to work on the bottom piece of this. So we are going to add the stopper in the middle of the card, but because I have another piece of decoration to go on this, and it is this on your engagement little message, die cut in a heart, and I again added a little bit of a glitter onto the edges of it, and the gold heart is just slightly bigger than that one, again die cut, and I'm just going to glue these on top of each other onto the bottom right hand corner in there. So this will say congratulations on the stopper and on your engagement on the little heart. Now I realized that I printed out congratulations and there's congrats on the little heart sentiment, so I might change the congratulations message to something else. When I know who this is going to go to, I could print their names and swap it for their names or the date of the event. Now I just changed my mind and I decided to add another layer of foam tape just to make it a bit taller. I also add a little bit of hot glue all along it before I glue it onto the cardstock, and this will be the stopper for the front bit of the easel card, not upside down, there we go, using my grid lines just as a guide to make it nice and straight. So there we go. This is the card ready. This is the front view, which I will show you pictures and videos in a minute. Folds flat nicely into a card box. Obviously, dimensions of the flowers and the embellishments, you will need a deeper box to put this in, or an envelope. The message can go either on the bottom of the card or the back of the card. There's plenty of room to write your personalized message. So this is it. Here is a little close-up video of the ready card. Isn't that gorgeous? Just all that glitter and shine. I absolutely love it. This would make such a gorgeous card for a wedding or for a special birthday, graduation. This really can be personalized in so many ways. A close-up of the front panel and the heart shaker element. Just absolutely how gorgeous is this? And here is a close-up video just of that very first card that I'd made. I really hope you enjoyed today's tutorial, and if you did, please give me the thumbs up and check out my other videos as well. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you will get notified anytime I upload a new beautiful video again. Thank you for watching, and until the next time, bye!